Rods and ground, folks. How y'all doing? It's been a while. I got to get back in the saddle. Guys, I'm on the way to, technically this is a AC checkup, but guys, like I mentioned before in previous videos, anytime we do any heat pump or condenser installs in the winter, we always like to come out, preferably before we start doing AC maintenances, we like to come out and make sure that everything's rocking and rolling with the charge. Guys, this is one of these calls. I think this particular call, we replaced a compressor in the snow, as you guys see here in the video. And guys, everything's working fine. I tested the AC and the heat that day. The heat works fine, obviously, because it was snowing outside. But guys, I told the customer we'll come back out, preferably before April, the next 60+ degree day we get. And guys, right now it's like 60 degrees outside. So right now it's the perfect time for us to come out here to make sure that the AC is working. And yeah, guys, I'm on the way there right now. So hang tight. I'm almost there right now. Let's go see what's going on here, guys. I'll see y'all when I get inside. Guys, let's jump into it, shall we? All right, guys. For reference, I believe we put this unit in a couple years ago. This is a Evcon heat pump. And this is 18,000 BTUs, which is 1.5 tons. And guys, for reference, the last time I came out here, we came out here twice. I think we came out here, if not last summer or 2 summers ago, and this customer had a capacitor that was weak. And mind you, at the time, the AC was still running, but the point is, guys, we cleaned everything out. Everything inside was okay. Filter was clean, but guys, we found this capacitor. I think it was a 40-5. It was at like a 29 out of 40, and we recommended replacing the capacitor. And at that time, the customer didn't want to do it, so we notated everything on file. And unfortunately, this customer called this past winter and said that her energy bills are real high, and once again, guys, this is a heat pump, but she said she noticed her energy bills were real high, and also she'd never seen this unit run in the winter. And I'm like, okay, that's weird. Mind you, the last time we came out here in the summer, everything was okay. The charge was spot on, everything was okay, besides the capacitor being weak. And sure enough, guys, I came out here and this unit was tripping a breaker. And we found the compressor short of the ground, so we had to pop in a new compressor. And guys, it was snowing at that time, so at that point, guys, regardless of what my charge was, I did add enough refrigerant to deactivate the low pressure switch. But anytime we perform any type of refrigerant related repair, whether it be a metering device, an evac coil, a compressor, or even a new AC installation, we always like to come out within the following spring before it gets busy, and we like to make sure that the refrigerant pressures are spot on. So, but guys, here's where we're at right now. Just to give you guys some context, the high today is about 62, but guys, it's only 9 o'clock in the morning. It's not going to get to 60, unfortunately, until later on this afternoon. So we got to work with what we have. But guys, the good news is today I can at least get a more accurate description of what the charge is, because like I said, guys, last time I came out here, it was 20 degrees outside and it was in the middle of a snowstorm. So, but guys, right now, the only thing I did was I went inside, I checked my temperature difference. I got a 20-degree split. I think my supply was like 40 degrees. And also the customer had I believe it was a 14x20 filter inside in the air handler. She's gonna, she said that she was gonna take care of replacing that filter. She usually, she replaces the filters herself, but the filter in there didn't look too bad, but I definitely recommend replacing that filter probably within the next month. But she said she'll take care of that for sure. So guys, everything inside is okay. Out here, and just to show you, and once again, this is an R410A, 18,000 BTU heat pump. And you see there, the biggest thing I'm looking at, guys, is I'm looking at my coil temperature on my low side. And as you see here, I'm above freezing point. I'm talking the freezing temperature of 410A is 101.5, and we're definitely above that threshold. Guys, remember, today it's not really that hot, but it's definitely not cold. So guys, we're right in that tweener point where, is it a perfect ideal temperature? No, but guys, at this point, if we wait until 70 degrees, we're gonna be like slam busy. So some customers are gonna have to get the early bird, checkups with the AC. So, but guys, like I said, as long as we're above freezing and I got a 20-degree split, I mean, that's enough for me. As far as, like I said, with temperatures, that tells me that I don't have to add refrigerant, which is very, very important. Now, if this numbers were, if my low side was like at a 50, guys, knowing that, like I said, we already had to add refrigerant here when we did the compressor. If I was below freezing, at that point, I'll either have to put a charging jacket on, or guys, I'm not sure if you've seen my that compressor install. I had to make my own charging jacket. I put a bunch of kneeling pads on top of the unit, and from what I'm seeing, it actually worked. I was able to get enough refrigerant in the system. So, and guys, once again, this unit has a low pressure switch. So guys, if what I did didn't work, this unit definitely would have crapped out before now. So, all right, but guys, me knowing my pressures are above freezing point, and like I said, guys, my high side is going to fluctuate with the ambient temperature. And inside, guys, this is a TXV metering device, so it's best to check superheat and subcool. And once again, guys, it's not a hot day, so I know my superheat and my subcool is going to be off slightly. I'm not looking for perfect conditions. The biggest thing is I want my low side to be above threshold, and I want my high side to be somewhat close to what the manufacturer specs are. So guys, right now, if I had to put money on it, it's damn near closer to 55 degrees than it is to 60. And that's if it's actually 55. I think it might be 51 right now. But guys, you see that? And once again, guys, inside, this customer keeps the thermostat in the mid 60s. So the heat doesn't always run a lot in the winter. She likes to keep the house at 67, 68 year round. So guys, looking at this, let's line this up here. Outdoor temperature, 55. Indoor, which is very important, I want to say it's going to be closer to 67 inside. I'm trying to focus this camera. This is a 198. So based on everything, 198 would be ideally, keyword ideally, where we want to be. And guys, I'm at a looks like it's right below a 190 on the high side. And guys, I'm not going to add refrigerant here. Like I said, the biggest thing is I'm above threshold, I'm above freezing point. But like I said, guys, knowing that it's only in the mid 50s outside, I know I should be at 198, but I'm at a 190. I mean, I'm going to take that 10 times out of 10. I'm not really going to make a big deal out of it. And like I said, guys, if I had to add refrigerant, biggest thing is me knowing what my minimum threshold point is. Ideally, you want to have a 40-degree coil, regardless of the refrigerant. But guys, there's factors that plays into refrigerant charges. So you got to know what the outside temperature is, guys. If it was 90 degrees outside, my numbers would not look like this unless something was going on. But guys, on a 55-degree day, it's very important for you to give yourself some slack when checking or adding or removing refrigerant. Because like I said, guys, if there's no humidity outside, there's no humidity inside. And there's no humidity inside, this AC doesn't have a load. A load means there's no work for this AC unit to do. So that's very important. Like I said, you guys don't want to get too fixated on your numbers. Know that a 55-degree ambient is going to give you lower temperatures, lower pressures than a 75-degree ambient. Ambient meaning the outside temperature. So give you guys make sure you give yourself some slack. And like I said, guys, don't get too caught up on having perfect numbers. Give yourself some slack. But the biggest thing is you don't want your low side to be too low. And for damn sure, you don't want your high side to be too high. Because if either one of those scenarios happen, this unit is going to turn off either on low pressure or high pressure. So you don't want that. And as expected, there's no load inside. So guys, my suction line is only a 36. And guys, another thing, I'm not sure if you guys seen this in my older shorts and my older videos, but guys, I used to have digital gauges. I think I had like 3 sets at once. And I mean, to be honest, guys, I bought digital gauges for selfish reasons. The only reason I like those digital gauges is that I can get numbers in seconds. I can have my superheat, my subcool, I can have everything just by hooking up my hoses and clamping on my suction and liquid line thermometers. But guys, unfortunately, one of my gauges, which were brand new at that time, the hanger part fell behind the van, and like I said, it cracked the screen. And the other one, I think one of the hoses stripped. Guys, a bunch of weird things was happening with those gauges. But guys, putting 2 and 2 together, I'm like, guys, the only thing I really need is my good old analog, and I just need a pipe thermometer, guys, and that's all I need. But like I said, guys, to each his own. Also, another thing I didn't mention is that those gauges had a built-in micron gauge. To each his own. If you like all that stuff, then go for it. But the biggest thing is, for damn sure, make sure you take care of these digital gauges where you have whether you have a S-Man or Testo. Make sure, like I said, you guys especially if you guys are out here doing AC work in rain and snow, make sure you cover it. Make sure you keep the batteries replaced, because like I said, guys, I was out of pocket like at least almost $1,200 for those 3 sets of gauges. So, you know, you live and learn, but I'm damn sure not gonna make that mistake again. If I do get them down the line, I'm probably rarely gonna use them. But like I said, guys, I got my bread and butter, and what works for me works for me. I'm not gonna change it up. So, but all right, guys, moving along. We're just checking our amps on our compressor, and this is the biggest culprit of what happened technically this past winter. This compressor was short at the ground, and whenever you turn the AC on, the breaker tripped. And luckily, since this is a heat pump, this customer had the backup heat running, so she wasn't freezing. She just noticed the bills were extremely high, and she didn't see the fan running out here. So I'm glad she called us when she did, and I'm glad we were able to remedy the problem, because like I said, guys, we definitely want to make sure that this customer is rocking and rolling here. But all right, guys, it doesn't look too bad in here. But let me take my gauges off, and I'm just gonna wipe down the outer cabinet. And this customer has a hose spigot on the other side of this unit. The coils don't look too bad, but I'm gonna look at the coils on the other side while I have everything open. But guys, let me take my gauges off. I'll be right back. All right, guys, I'm just hitting this coil. There was a little bit of pollen. Not anything too crazy, but it was just a little bit of pollen on the back side there, on that side of the coil near the wall. But like I said, guys, if it's accessible, that easy, it's not wrong with just hitting the coil with the hose. And like I said, guys, at least it's something. This is one less thing you got to worry about. All right, that's cool. And it is preferred to hose the coil down, but the biggest thing you can do is do a visual check. Like I said, if the coils are green instead of silver, then chances are, pollen or probably tree shrubs, especially when customers cut the grass in the summer. And if the AC is running, then that coil is going to suck in any air or anything that's floating around the unit at the time of the unit running. So there's nothing wrong, guys. If you see discolorment, just hit the coil. Especially, like I said, you have an accessible hose spigot, just hit the coil. And like I said, guys, this is one less thing you got to worry about, and this is only going to help this unit run. But biggest thing is just make sure all your electrical components, make sure the door is on, make sure you don't have any exposed wiring while you hit the coil with water. So, but yeah, guys, that's all there is to it. This S-Con unit is rocking and rolling. I got another call to get to that's very similar to this. It's just a check and clean on a brand new, I think it's a straight AC unit. It was a coil and condenser we put in. There's another job I got to get to after this. But yeah, guys, that's all there is to it. In the perfect world, yeah, you do want to wait until 70 degrees outside to check charge, but can you at least get a guideline of if you're properly charged or not when it's under 70 degrees? For sure you can, as long as you're above freezing and as long as your air pressure is within close proximity to what the manufacturer specs are. And every condenser and every heat pump is going to have that info either on the outer door or the inner door of the heat pump or condenser. So it's very accessible. Like I said, just take your time. And for damn sure, guys, don't add refrigerant just because the numbers are low. You need more information. You need to know the inside temperature. You need to know the outside temperature. And like I said, guys, you need to know the history of what's going on. So knowing that today is only in the low 50s, I'm not expecting, like I said, a perfect charge. But as long as we're above the threshold, then like I said, guys, I'll take these numbers any day of the week. But all right, guys, let me rock out. I'll see you on the next one. Thanks.